everybody.
Hi y'all.
How
What's
y'all
goody?
doing?
How y'all
It
doing?
is another episode of Tired Tuesdays.
Tired
Oh, let me
Tuesdays.
put the banner up. I completely forgot about the banner. There's the banner.
See?
My
Tired.
name is A Natural,
My name is Lenny Harold.
and you are watching Tired Tuesdays.
You watching Tired Tuesdays?
And I'm actually tired today.
Yeah, so am I.
It hasn't even really been a week yet. Not for me. It's just been busy.
It has for
Frankie
me
found his way in
already.
here already.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I have the door slightly open so he
All right.
can. Right.
All right. So
If you hear the tip tapping, that's
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 the
that's
dog.
my dog.
So we're gonna wait a few minutes, let everybody get in the room.
What up, everybody that's in here? Go to YouTube
Yes, go to
Tired
YouTube.
Tuesdays.
Go
What's
to
up,
the
Ibrock?
YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Go on to the YouTube.
Get out of the Instagram and go
Get
on to the YouTube.
get on. What's up, Karai?
Yes, go on over to the YouTube. Come
Go
on up out of there.
right. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
YouTube.com/Tired Tuesdays.
Yes.
So
We're no longer on this platform. I'm just on here just to remind people to go to the
it's gonna take
YouTube.
them a minute to get
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
um,
So I'll be on for like maybe 2-3 more
yeah.
minutes. Call it a day.
So let's see. What
Okay, bet.
should we give them some things to listen to while we wait?
Waffle, Lisa, what's going on?
I feel like we can share some tune.
Sure.
Okay, let's start off with something that we both have seen and
Yes.
both really enjoy. If this will play for me, yes, hallelujah, yes, and that is the incomparable. Ooh, wait, hold on. She's still doing stuff. Hold on. Hold on. Stop. Shut up. Okay. That was Janelle Monae.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if y'all know us, then you know like we're huge fans of hers. Since the whole Metropolis
Right. From the
era,
very, very
Arcandroid,
beginning.
like
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Um, she can do no wrong. Well, she can do no wrong musically. I ain't like the last album as much as everybody else did. It was a dope album, but I still wanted more of the Arcandroid story.
Yeah. This was really, really refreshing to see her come back to these vibes again. So I know when I was watching, I was falling in love. I was sitting in the chair like, oh my god, and she was singing.
Yeah,
So
like singing,
yeah.
and the band was amazing.
Oh yeah, the band was good.
Like that high note that she hit on the song, the All or Nothing at All.
Yeah.
Like, all
Yeah.
right, amen. Somebody drank her water.
Okay.
um, so yeah, that's one of the dope performances that we were able to see over the past week.
Word.
There's been a lot of music activity over this past week, from performances to music videos to some questionable activities, and we're gonna try to get to all of it today. Before we get into that, though, we were just talking about this because last week we talked about a lot of the movies and TV shows that we've been watching and
Right.
trying to keep up to date on them. One documentary that I started watching last week that I put you onto
Yeah.
was
Seaspiracy.
Seaspiracy. It's on Netflix, and I would definitely implore all of you to watch that. Um, it's it's a little sad because it basically talks about our consumption of the fish in the ocean
Mm-hmm.
and how it's literally killing us. We think we eat fish to be healthy. We think we're doing it to, cut down on eating other foods. But the way that the fish are caught, harvested, farmed,
Yeah.
it's just doing a number on our planet. And I'm eating sushi right now
As he tells you about Seaspiracy.
because I'm hungry. But
So he don't want you to judge him.
don't
but
judge me.
But it's a work in progress. But yeah, it's the same type of feeling that I received when I watched What the Health. Because literally after watching What the Health, like I was literally vegan the very next day. So yeah, this is it's
Watch it.
yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
definitely change your mind about your consumption of food. And they don't even talk about not eating fish. They're just saying that the amounts and the quantities that we do is harmful to our environment.
It's a bigger industry than what I really thought it was.
Yeah.
And um just the harvesting of fish alone, especially the ones that have the huge football sized nets that were scraping
Yeah.
the bottom of the ocean.
That I didn't know about.
Like that was it's just
Like,
it's a lot of
wait,
information.
the net itself is the size of a football field, and it's weighted so that it drags across the ocean. Imagine seeing that on a football field,
Right.
and it tearing up the ground, and that's what it's doing to the ocean.
Mhm.
Like that's crazy.
So our coral reefs are getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of life that's essential to just how we live on this planet.
Yeah.
And we're destroying it.
So
We're
just
destroying it.
just
So,
think about it. The next
Yeah.
time you go to the supermarket and you want to use your stimmy on crab legs, just think about
Right,
it
right,
before you do that.
right,
Um.
right.
So yeah, should we get to these hot topics?
Yeah, let's get into
Let's
these
get
hot
into the hot
topics.
topics,
Let's
y'all.
go.
So I'm just gonna start roasting it. Now the higher you are, the slower it'll roast. The closer you are, the faster it'll roast.
That gets us every time.
I gotta watch this full video because,
That's all she does in the video.
but I
But
don't
the fact that she's
understand-
not even using a stick, but
Right,
she's using a knife,
right. But it's also the fact that it's an electric burner.
and it's the fact that she's using a bread knife. She's not even using a regular knife; she's using a bread knife to hold the marshmallow. Like a mess.
Like it's just all kinds of wrong all over the place. But
What's up, everybody in the comments? I see y'all.
How y'all
Tamaya's
doing?
in the room. Kate Tukes in the room.
hey,
Ty's in the room. Lisa
hey.
NJ, Karan. Like, what's up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for joining us today.
Word.
Corey's in the house. Sean's in the house. Waffles in the house.
Waffles in the house. Word.
So yeah, this has been a very eventful. Listen,
I'm
Frankie,
sorry, my dog is.
We have a
running
guest,
around
a special
the bottom.
guest. We didn't know he was a special guest today, but Frankie's he's in the room.
Yeah, and he's antsy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's
So,
get in.
Like we said, there's been a lot of musical activity this past week. It's funny because last week's episode, nothing was going on. So
Yeah,
we had
nothing
nothing
was
to talk
going.
about.
Yeah, and then literally, it was like Thursday
Yeah.
of last week. Everything wanted to
Everything started
happen.
happening. So we figured let's start with some of the good before we get to some of the bad
Okay.
and some of the extra. Because there's a lot of extra.
There's a lot. There's too much. Extra.
So let's see. As far as some of the good, I have not seen this yet, so we're all gonna watch this at the same time. If you haven't seen it either, but I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you've seen her perform this song plenty of times over the last several months, but I have not seen this performance, so I'm gonna watch it with you guys for the first time.
Yes.
Go ahead and intro that for us.
All right. So we are going to watch Pick Up Your Feelings by Jazmine Sullivan. This was just a killer performance, and I loved the staging of it. And her look was just Jasmine's just beautiful anyway, and she was singing her ass off. So let's just go. Killer performance. Killer performance. I love the fact that they reversed the angle so you could see the audience.
Yeah.
So you could see what the audience would look like. I loved that camera angle, which was incredible, but like she was giving it, and her band is just ridiculous. The background singer is like,
yo, she lucky. That's her boyfriend on his drums.
Listen, and he be killing.
My God.
Killing.
All right, Jasmine.
I told you that performance was something special.
I mean, honestly, like it's weird because we're in this weird place right now in music where it almost seems like the two sides are fighting. Where there's this one side that is so hard at trying to bring real music back, like Jasmine, like Janelle, like we played earlier, like her. Even Victoria Monet. Like I don't know if you've seen her performance yet.
No, I still haven't seen
My
that.
God, like it's there's this fight between the two sides where it's like the mediocre or the typical or the copycat is fighting against the real music, and the real music is fighting back, and we don't know who's gonna win.
But you know what? It's funny because it's this weird placement where the ones that are not as talented, is that the right way to say that? We'll keep it there for right now. You know, y'all know my heart.
What we mean. I mean, but you know what though?
But you know what? They're actually intrigued by this style of singing and wanting to learn more.
Here's a way to say that. I think that the other side, and I'm talking like I'm on one side, but I am. The other side, it's not that they're less talented. I think what it is that the creativity is different.
Yes.
They're able to tap into a part of creativity that does not require talent.
Well, that doesn't require so much.
It doesn't require expertise.
Yes.
It doesn't require training. It requires
melodies
and
lyrics
and gimmick.
Yeah.
But with the more talented side, I want them to tap into the more creative side, so that way they can marry the two, and then everybody wins.
Yeah,
you know, and then people will be inspired. Like you said, the less talented are inspired by the more talented, but they have a different drive set.
Yeah,
I think where it's like they're able to get their ideas across better because they're not worried so much about the right notes. Whereas the talented ones who are singing the right notes have a harder time getting the idea across because everybody's more concerned about the visual or the gimmick or whatever, and not so much about the talent.
It's funny too because you'll see people in comments of like Hallie from Chloe and Hallie, like when she did her acoustic guitar session, and folks were in the comments like, "Oh my God, you have the most gorgeous voice. I didn't know you could sing like this," and blah 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 blah. It's funny how you can really hear a vocal when it's all the way stripped down. Not like she wasn't giving all these same vocals live with the instrumentation. So I think it's intriguing people with their ear going, okay, I do want to sound like this, and I do want to put in that effort.
Right.
You know?
And, you know, I think it just takes a little bit of effort.
It does.
On both parts, because
you gotta want to.
We can definitely be talented, but if we lack the creativity, then nobody's going to be watching.
Right.
And that's what, you know, defeats us a lot of the times on the creative side. So,
yeah.
In contrast, there is another video.
Do we need to play it?
I'm going to play it on mute. Is that okay?
No. I mean,
I'm going to mute it halfway. I'm not playing the whole video. I'm not playing the whole video.
I don't know if because there's so many levels to this.
And I'm not playing it for the reasons that y'all think. Because if you know me, you know me. But let's just get to it. Do you want to intro it?
Okay, so Lil Nas X dropped a video that has been playing behind a lot of his like TikTok videos and a lot of his Instagram posts, and everybody's been waiting for this song, and he finally released it with the video, and it was a love letter to him just being comfortable with himself. I did watch.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I watched this small interview because there's so many reasonings on why he ended the video the way that he did. It was extreme. I get his point, but it was still extreme. And I don't know, what do you guys feel about this? Because I'm sure everybody in here has, because there's so many levels to this, and I know you have your main level.
I'm gonna wait until
and I danced on that too as well. But
you guys, while we play this, come in the comments and let us know what y'all think. Because y'all got kind of quiet. Come on and say something. Are you still with us?
Are you
still there?
Are you there?
So let's play this little Montero video. Let me not say it like that. We're going to play Lil Nas X, Montero.
Listen,
Call Me by Your Name.
Because he is successful.
I'm gonna give him his respect.
He is killing it.
what's up?
Hi everyone. Sorry about that. We just learned.
We just learned something new today.
Yeah. So we love this feature, but
Yeah.
we know we can only play snippets.
Sorry, kids. Sorry, kids, but we're back. We'll give you guys a chance to come back on in the room.
Right.
We didn't know that YouTube was gonna really get us like that, but
Yeah.
we don't claim to own none of this stuff. We know it's not ours, but we
Right.
want to do reaction videos with you guys live.
But everybody want their money.
Yeah, it's fine.
Which is what they should be wanting.
Yeah. So y'all come on back in the room.
Exactly.
Yes, Oof is right. Oof is right. I'm gonna eat some more of this sushi while we.
I should have left out and got my food real quick.
You got time. I could put up a banner.
YouTube does too much. Yes,
YouTube does do too much.
Does too much. Instagram does too much.
YouTube will they will copyright, warning our own music on our own channels.
Yeah, which is absolutely crazy.
And it's like, can y'all calm down? I know I own this. So we're gonna wait for you guys to come back in before we get back to it.
Frankie. Can you hear me walking away? I think everybody can still hear me. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Frank, stay out. Oh, sorry, we got wires and stuff. While we waiting. While we waiting.
All right. Just refresh the page and come on back into the chat.
We got 4 people in here.
Yep. Well, everybody's coming back. We'll just go in. So basically, YouTube did not like us, and I'll say the devil didn't like us since he was all through that video. We just got finished playing the Lil Nas X music video for Montero, "Call Me by Your Name," which is the first single from his new album.
Yes,
called "Call Me by Your Name."
Mm-hmm.
It's the first real single, I would say, that he's released since Old Town Road. He put out Panini,
Right.
He put out the Christmas song, but this is like his first, like, the album's coming, get ready for the new sound and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, everybody's coming back. Amen. So I'm gonna let you go first. Or you're still chewing.
So I watched the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, y'all. I watched the interview where he said he specifically wanted to have an Illuminati moment. Why there was a need to do that, I don't understand, because you already know how everybody's mind is going to go. They're going to be like, oh my God, he sold his soul to the devil, blah, 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 blah. Whether or not he did or not, it's none of our business. That's his life. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I felt as though, and I know we can't do everything to make sure that we are role models for everyone, but I thought it was just way extreme. The ending of him giving a lap dance to the devil, like there was a way to get his point across without being so overtly extra. But I don't want to stifle his creativity either. If that's the way he felt like he needed to express that, he can. But I know when I finished watching it, it just made me feel uneasy. And I watch horror movies and stuff, like, and I should feel the same, it was the same kind of uneasiness, but I don't know. And I have so many thoughts, but the video was shot amazing. The art direction was incredible. This dude has budget, and I don't know. There's so many thoughts. I just don't want to be out of pocket.
So most of the chatter was about Christian people being upset about him glorifying the devil, and then also
they actually had that. That was actually some chatter.
Yes, and then also the gay.
Why were they paying attention to begin with? He's a gay artist.
We're gonna get to it. But then also, that's the thing. It wasn't even about him being gay. It was about the devil and him leaving heaven to go down to hell And
He didn't
I
even make it to heaven. That was the thing
right,
that
right,
was
right. He was
crazy
on
to
his
me.
way, and then he chose not to.
Yeah, and then he took a stripper pole down to hell.
Yes, and gave Satan a lap dance. Then took his head off, and then took his
Became
horns and
yeah,
became the devil.
right.
So their issue really wasn't even about him being gay. At least not that's not what I was saying. I was saying more of it being about him glorifying hell
Ooh.
and wanting to go there instead of going to heaven. Um, and then a lot of that was also partnered with people thinking that he's a kids artist.
Mm-hmm.
He just accepted an award for Nickelodeon's Kids Choice Award or whatever, and he's become like a role model to kids. And so doing this type of a overtly sexual song and video, and also having this whole Satanism thing, and then of
That's what I'm
course
saying.
the shoes, these devil shoes, Satan shoes, or whatever that he's supposed to be shopping. It was a bit much for everybody who has become a fan of his, and I think. And what I said yesterday on Twitter, and not too many people responded to it, but I said, y'all mad about the wrong things. For me, it's the continued praising of mediocrity and music industry puppet string holding for me. Because I don't care about him being gay. I don't care about him giving a lap dance. I don't care about him even having the devil in the video. Nothing really shocks me anymore as far as people's creativity and the lengths that they'll go to do shock value types things. For me, it's the fact that while there's an artist out here who is not doing gimmicks and has been putting in the actual work to enhance their talent, they're being overlooked, or a budget's being taken away from them to give it to this. And for what reason? You're not furthering music because nobody's even really talking about the song or the instrumentation. Like nobody's talking about the second verse with the harmonies that I actually like. Nobody's talking about that. They're talking about the shock value of the video.
But he knew what he was doing. The whole company knows what they're doing.
And that's the thing.
They know exactly what's going to get praise, what's going to get people's attention, what's going to keep people talking. Because if you haven't seen the video, because of the conversation, you're going to see the video. It's literally about shock value.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I will say on the other end of it, it is dope to see a black gay artist get that type of budget though. And that I will say is dope.
I disagree.
I think so.
It on one hand is cool because you're hitting several different points. Black, gay, budget.
Mm-hmm.
The problem that I have is why can't we get that for someone who's talented?
Right.
That's my only thing is like, we just played Jazmine Sullivan's performance. Right now, Jazmine should have the budget to have created a video for every single song off of her EP.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that she did. I don't know if she's waiting around for Issa Rae like she said she wanted to or whatever. But I feel like those budgets are available to artists like her.
Mm-hmm.
But way too many times, artists like her get passed over to feed into the industry nonsense like this video is. Like, yeah, it's cool that he's able to express himself and be himself, and that's fine. But the shock value trumps everything else that you were trying to do.
Yeah.
And also now confuses your audience because now it's like, are you trolling or are you really trying to express your creativity? Or are you doing both? But my thing is, I'd rather not have to sit here and figure it out. I'd rather just be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, we can sit and enjoy it or we cannot enjoy it. It's literally about what you want to intake and what you don't want to intake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really just comes down to that because there is an audience for this and they can watch it and love it. And I did watch a bunch of reactions on YouTube because I was just curious after I watched the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see how everybody was taking this whole thing in.
Mm-hmm.
And people were absolutely loving it. The fact that it was a gay artist actually doing something extreme, taking taking no limits and not holding back. And so, they really appreciated it. And then on the other side of it, it's just good to see a black gay artist actually get a budget like that. Like somebody on the executive table believes in him that much to keep supplying him with the budget that he has.
I mean I get that side of it, and on that side of it, like there's so many different takes.
Yeah, I
There's
know
so many
that
different
the
takes.
whole moment he created is there's so many levels there because if you look at a Sam Smith who gets an amazing budget, you know what I mean? You look at a Troy Sivan who gets an amazing budget, and then now you can actually say there is a black gay artist
But
that
look at the
also can get
difference,
a
though.
major.
Look at the difference, though. You get Sam Smith, who's known as a singer. You get Troy Sivan, who's known as a singer. What is Lil Nas X known as?
Well, he's supposed to be a rapper, right?
I don't know what he is. I mean, I get that it's cool that someone can just be creative, but why can't we ever be both and get that type of attention or budget?
Yeah, but it's still
Or it's only reserved for Beyonce,
it's still at this place where
especially with the male artists.
yeah, it's but it's still at this place where the white side of the industry still does not believe in us enough to have the talented artists come out. You know what I mean? It's like the same reason why well, I don't want to say that because I don't want to speak bad on anyone.
Mhm.
But the ones that are gay in the industry
Mhm.
that are black men
Mhm.
are not going to receive that type of budget. But hopefully that will happen because of someone like Lil Nas.
I would hope so, and I would hope that because of that, it extends itself to those who are talented
Yeah.
and not just internet famous or internet trolls or TikTok stars. Like
Yeah,
that's
Ty.
what I would hope that it would extend itself to.
Yeah. He's a pop star. Exactly. And that's just exactly what it is. He's a pop star.
Yeah.
And so that means he can rap, he can sing, he can do whatever he wants. It's, as long as it becomes popular music. Um
Should I go into what I did earlier today? Because I feel like
yeah,
that
because it definitely
coincides.
coincides.
Um, you know what? Let me do something real quick, just for those who are joining us again, just so you know what's happening.
So I'm just gonna start roasting it. Now the higher you are, the slower it'll roast. The closer you are, the faster it'll roast.
YouTube didn't want to let us be great, so we had to just run our little hot topics graphic one more time.
This lady trying to
Let's see. Tamaya said that's a good point. Y'all know y'all true musicians because I don't even consider the song is getting lost in the video. Satan sauce.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what else you say? You better talk back. Amen.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I couldn't stop looking at it. I'm intrigued by the visuals. The creativity wasn't lost on me, but the shoes felt like much. And that's the thing.
And that's
It's like, where does the creativity stop and where does the trolling begin?
yeah. And it was a bit of both because that's his whole career has been based off of trolling though.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So like it makes sense to combine the two or the three or the four little things because
And
it was
this
gimmicky. It was
This is not new to us either.
Yeah.
Because Madonna has done the same thing.
exactly Lady Gaga,
Gaga's
Britney,
done it.
everybody has done some
Something
form of
way risque.
Yeah.
Like, our latest version of that was WAP with
Right.
Cardi and Meg.
right.
But I also feel like there's just gotta be a point where we can get back to the creativity being about the creativity. And you don't even have to be the best singer, but it should be about your art and your love of music. That's my thing. I feel like music gets lost in all the other things that have to make it sell. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
It does, but I also, even with a statement like that, see, this is why this subject is so apples and oranges because that was his art, and it's clear that that's his
I
art.
don't believe that that's his art.
Well, per the interview that I watched, he said that the whole thing was his idea.
Yeah, and how many times have artists been told what to say?
This is also true,
Like,
but it honestly felt like this was his whole idea.
yes, and we know that everybody goes to the school of Beyonce PR training.
Not everybody.
No, but the thing about it is that if you think about it, when the industry has an agenda or a point that they want to get across, They know how to make sure that that shit comes out flawlessly.
Or he's just getting played by the people that have signed his check
No, that's what I'm saying.
to
So,
go as extreme as he possibly can.
and that's what I'm saying. There's still, to me, it doesn't seem like a genuine attempt at artistry. To me, it seems like I am trying to make sure that I can continue my success based on what the industry is allowing me to do. I could be wrong.
Mm.
I could be very wrong, but we have seen this happen time and time again, where people like what's that girl's name? The girl from Sweden, Carolee. Remember the white girl that had the white hair? She had that one song. I'm a creepy little thing and a creepy little thing and a creepy little creepy and a creepy and creepy. like, yes, there's an artist named
God,
Carolee,
no, I don't
Kerli, right? Now, her whole entire thing was about literally doing all the Illuminati type stuff. Poppy is another one,
Oh yeah, yeah.
where these artists they pop up that are blatantly doing this, cryptic type of messaging and imagery in their stuff. And it's like, for what reason? Because none of this has anything to do with your artistry. None of this has anything to do with the music. It's just you're trying to get the most, she loved that song. They're just trying to get the most shock value to make money. Like,
I mean, but at the end of the day, with
because I'll give you this. Lady Gaga, first of all, we know Lady Gaga is an artist. Outside of the meat dress, outside of all the Illuminati references, outside of all the craziness, there's an artist there because she plays the piano. She writes her own songs. She was doing shows down in New York and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's artistry there. And I'm not saying that artistry always has to be defined by playing an instrument, but there is training and learning and education behind the artist that to me proves that she's an artist. Whereas there are other people I mean, I know it for a fact because of the people that I've worked with in the industry where they don't have any training, but they got deals. They don't have any type of skill, but they got a music video out. There's a girl now, her name is Addison Rae, and she's a TikTok star. She got famous off of doing TikToks, dances that she stole from other black kids and then got big off of these dances. And now she got an album out and it's a number one single.
wow.
So we know that this happens and it's been happening for decades. My issue is, when is that going to stop and get back to the artistry? Is it ever going to stop and get back to the artistry?
Well, you know what? I think right now what we have to do is define what makes what is the definition of artistry. You know what I mean? Like, because for an example, with no Little Nas, like if this was his whole idea, doesn't that make him an artist?
Mm. If it was his idea, it makes him a creative.
But a creative also makes you an artist.
I don't think so. If we're talking about artists in the musical sense, I don't think that they equal the same thing. I think that anybody has the potential to create art, but not everybody who is creative can execute it. I'm creative, but I can't draw for shit. My daddy got that gene. My sister got that gene. My mama got that gene. You got that gene. So what I'm not going to do is draw something real trash and then put it out there as if I'm an artist now. I might have been creative enough to say, this is what I would like my idea to be. But if I can't execute it and I'm not going to go back and get the training so that I can execute it, I can't call myself an artist. And if we look at music from way, way back in the day, you couldn't get up on stage unless somebody certified you. And I'm not saying that that's what we need to do now. I'm just saying that that's what creates the difference between somebody being creative and someone being an artist. I think a creative person can know what music should sound like, to be able to critique it, to be able to approve it or whatever. That does not make them an artist. They said that a lot about Puffy because Puffy has an ear for music. Does that make him an artist? Or is he just a really dope creative person?
Well, then that's the same thing about Dr. Dre then.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of people out here who are saying that they are artists and they're not. They're just creatives and have a really good PR team and a budget.
I still feel I hear your point.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just make that clear. I hear your point loud and clear. And yeah. But I do think that there's an art to being creative. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? It's still a thought process of, and sometimes that is your artistry. The fact that, you know, you just know what to put together. And that's the art itself. And you put the right people in the room. That's an artist.
Somebody said, but a lot of memorable art is controversial and shocking too. I agree with Lenny. I think we like to limit art based off our preference, but art and creativity was never meant to be limited. Preach on this evening.
Okay. And it was very well written.
Very well written. That's
The-
my friend.
Okay. Commas and everything, quotation marks
Amen.
come through.
She did that.
Yes.
She's going to comment on tonight.
Okay. I
No,
love
you're
it.
right. You're right. And I know that I hate this word. I hate this word.
Mm-hmm,
I know that at times I can be a music purist.
mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to be, but I think it's just because of the fact of how I was raised, what I was raised around, what I'm influenced by, and the training and the work that I
Of
put into my
course.
own artistry.
Of course. Of
So when
course.
someone else that either I can assume or I know for a fact has not put in the same thing,
Yeah.
or has not been around it, or not raised by it, and then they're calling themselves that,
It makes
to
you feel some
me,
type of
it
way.
makes- yeah, it makes
Yeah.
me feel some type of way.
Yeah.
So let's say this was his whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he put everything as far as the vision and the concept and the storyboard. Let's say that was him. Did he have to?
He felt he did. That was his creativity. That was the way he felt he needed to express the song in the best way possible.
And then after that choice is made, do you think that he can really lash back at the people that are criticizing him for it?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Because that's the real debate that's on.
Because
the
if you
interwebs.
put yourself out there, you got to be ready to receive whatever you have now put out.
Mhm.
Like, and the opinions of what you have now put out. You know what I mean? So like, um, yeah, yeah.
I think the shoes is a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
And even Nike said, "No, you're trying it now, so we have to sue you," because they were putting it out there like Nike signed off on it and they did not. So the 666 pairs of shoes, that's a bit much to me.
Mm-hmm.
The human blood inside the shoe is a bit much to me.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, you're trolling, but let that have been a joke. Don't let it have been an actual thing. And Nike was like, "Nah, we're cool." The other thing, and this is going back to creatives and art. Last year, or was it the year before? It was the year before last. FKA Twigs put out a video for her single called Cellophane.
I'm sorry, Tamaya. Just
No,
she,
I know.
she in here preaching.
That's the name of the song, right?
What?
FKA Twigs song,
Which one?
Cellophane.
Is
Is that
it?
what it's called? I think it's called Cellophane. Y'all let us know in the comments if that's the right name of the song.
Which one are you talking? You're talking
Her last album where she was on the pole.
Oh yes, yeah. Is that? What, I
that's
think
what
that
it's
is. Yeah,
called.
yeah.
So the director of that video, I don't know if you saw this, but the director of the video got on Twitter and was like, "It's really great when people can be inspired. And it's really great when people pay homage. But it's a bit weird," and I'm paraphrasing,
Mm-hmm.
"it's a bit weird when your record label hits me up to ask me to direct your video and work with you, and I say no, and then they go ahead and get the choreographer. And then it's a shot-by-shot copy of the video that I just shot for FKA Twigs."
Oh, I didn't even put that together. Whoa.
And when you look at them together,
whoa,
they're both in the sky on a giant stripper pole going down to the ground, and the shots are almost identical.
and okay. See, this is where please, you guys, please comment on the power of creativity and the power of artistry, because that FKA Twigs video was
Beautiful.
superb. Like it was incredible, the amount of training that she took in order to execute what she wanted to execute. She took a year to train on.
Longer than that. That's what the director said.
Really?
More than a year.
And so, and it was just beautifully shot, and you knew exactly what it was meaning, what it stood for
her. Because, and that's what he also said. He was like, "You are copying something that was created out of someone's trauma. and what those visuals meant to that person and their story.
Wow.
And now you're trying to take that person's story and trauma, apply it to your own thing without permission and without credit or homage. And now you're trolling everybody. And it's like, was this really your creative idea? Or was this a way that the industry normally does to put out their own agenda or whatever they're trying to do? That's why I have to separate creativity from artistry, because the creative aspect of that was, let me go do a search on people doing stripper pole videos, and ooh, FK Twigs video comes up. That looks dope. Let's use that. But that's not art, especially if it's copied blatantly without credit.
And you can't even really say that that was inspired by.
Especially when you ask the director and the director says no.
Yeah, that's
so
where
you go and get the choreographer.
Yeah, that's where it gets.
And of course, Lil Nas has not said anything about that, but he has been arguing with everybody else and even trolling Nike about the lawsuit. But he hasn't said a word about that aspect of it.
Okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, I did not know about.
I ain't mean to drop that on you like that. I'm sorry.
No, it's absolutely fine. And
that's like that in the court case where the judge is like, that's not admissible. We had no idea this.
Right, and it's like objection. No, then that kind of just turns it all around. It still doesn't take away from my prior point about creativity and artistry, but from this perspective, pertaining to this topic, that's a major like drop the mic moment. And so yeah, that's kind of tough to chew, right?
And I'm not even saying that to like shit on him or nothing like that. I just think that I want us to be more aware so that we're not arguing about the wrong things. And that's what my whole point is about this video, is that everybody's concentrating on it being about him being gay or being about the devil and all that kind of stuff. My concern is, where is music headed? And what are we doing with it? Why are we not being more careful with our creativity and our artistry so that it can last more than just a couple of headlines for the next couple of weeks because you put out a risque video?
Right.
You know, like.
But this is it's going to be a testament. It's going to, you know, when you come out the gate with this much creativity, it's going to, even his first song, that video was incredible. Yeah. Like, incredible. And so like when you put up this standard, it has to keep growing and growing. That's why Gaga had to she had to find a clever artistic way to even downsize all of her ideas, because she was living to pay off that budget of all of that investment. So like
that's what it was. I think for her, when she did Joanne, it was about a family member who had passed away. And so the whole entire personality and all of the extraness had to go away. And the critics didn't really like that first single. I love that first single. Perfect Illusion. I love that song.
No, that song was incredible.
But the critics said, oh, she's done the most. She's blew her top and she can't top everything else that she's done.
And I thought the video, regardless, because there were still ways to make that extra in Gaga fashion. You know what I mean? But it was the fact that she did scale down and she was still able to keep the essence of Gaga, which was absolutely incredible to me. And I thought that was dope. And so the whole Joanne era was amazing to me. It was actually good to see her, you know, just
strip down.
Yeah, strip down and do something simple. And now we got into the, what is it, Chromatica? Is that it? Yeah. Chromatica era, and she's back to doing all the extraness, which is fine. It's cool.
Even really doing so much extra,
and she
really couldn't because
COVID, because of COVID slowed it down. I'm sure we would have got incredible visuals and all kinds of other stuff. But on the other hand, we all know for the most part that is Gaga's vision, because she is very adamant about, and everything has an intention. You know what I mean? And so,
I mean, honestly, and
you know what? That's really what it is.
It's about intention.
It's about intention.
Yeah. You know, I think that the definition of an industry plant one day has to be explored very, very in-depthly.
It's about.
Come on, turn back on camera. Thank you.
Sorry, y'all.
It's to me, it's like we know that right now the music industry is scrambling to figure out what it's going to do because independent artists are taking over way more. And now that everything's shut down, the touring has stopped. You know, a lot of show dates have stopped. Artists are trying to figure out how to still get all the bells and whistles done behind their artistry because they can't do anything, live anymore. They can't do the big budget production shows and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, how can we make the music last in the major industry when the indie artists are now thriving during a pandemic? And so I think that one day, we don't have to do it tonight, but one day we need to explore the concept of an industry plant, because every now and then the industry will throw something out there that shocks everybody's system and will either change the course of music or they show their hand way too fast that they don't know what they're doing. I mean, we see it in all the mergers of different companies. We see it in the changing of the streaming laws and the streaming payouts and all that kind of stuff. So everything in the industry is changing right now, and they don't really know what they're doing. So it's just like, let's be conscious of the bullshit. It is the perfect time for them to throw out a video like this and a song like this to get everyone talking, to get back in, on the major side of the industry, especially after the Grammys just passed, after the Billboards just passed, and the Oscars are about to happen. So like, we know that shit happens almost every year. Like last year, it was Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
With ghosts and demons under the bed. So it's like every year we get a taste of what the industry is trying to push down our throats. And I just hope we don't fall for it again. And if it is 100% his heart and creativity, then I applaud him for it, and more power to him. I don't care if he's gay. I don't really care about the devil situation. I don't care about that. I just care about the integrity of music.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I feel like, similar to how parents want Lil Nas X to honor their standards of music for their children, we can't demand Lil Nas X to honor our standards of music for good music's sake. Yes. Yes, I agree.
I agree
with that. Because I don't want to hold him to a standard that he's just not willing to make. And also, I don't want to hold anybody to that standard. But if you're going to call yourself something, there are things that come with it. I'm not going to call myself a doctor if I have not done the training. I'm not going to call myself a lawyer if I haven't gone to law school. I'm not going to call myself a construction worker if I never built nothing. Like, I'm not going to call myself something that I'm not just for the sake of making a couple of dollars. I'm not going to do that. And that's just me. Yeah. Yeah, it's not his responsibility if he doesn't want it. But again, if you're going to call yourself something, I just think that you need to back that shit up. That's all. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
I did not plan on staying on him that long.
No, it's super good topic. Doctors are objective.
All right, Tamaya. All right.
Tamaya, you were literally, I was in my head and I was like, do I want to take it there or should we just
But here's the thing. Why is that though? Why is music the one profession that nobody ever has to take seriously?
It's
anything artistic. Even like acting, people take that more seriously than would music or art. And it's like, I don't like let's bring it back to home. People feel like, oh, I'm dope, so you should want to record and produce for me for a very low price just because I'm dope at what I do, even though I have no idea who you are or what your history is or what your training is. I'm supposed to believe in your dream because you woke up one day and said you could sing. But you don't do that with a doctor. You don't do that with a lawyer. You don't do that with sports. You don't do that with any other profession. And it's like, why does music always get the short end of the stick when it comes to being taken seriously?
It's music and art itself, like painting and all that other type of stuff, because you can go to school for that, but a lot of artists have not.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, because I was just trying to think if there was something else that is like that, because the drawing industry, painting industry is another one that's the same. And
me and somebody about to fight after the show. We're gonna fight after the show. She said music and movies and fashion and art. because it's supposed to be our freedom, and freedom should never have rules. That's why we love art. It's not restricted. Here's the problem with that. It's not yours. I'm creating it. You're consuming it. So you don't actually get to have freedom with it until you buy it. The same way that you would any other product or service. You don't get to tell McDonald's how to make your burger. You don't get to tell Ralph Lauren how to make a suit. So you shouldn't have to, you don't get that freedom. Now, I have the freedom to create what I want to create, but that doesn't mean that I'm just giving it to you to just deduce whatever you want. Like, I still have an intent behind my creation. And I reserve the right to call it what I want to call it. I reserve the right to, expect a certain type of respect for it as well. It's like I said, it's a whole other conversation.
It's a way deeper conversation, but I feel Tamaya because it's expression.
Look what she said.
I think you just made Lil Nas.
Get out the chat room.
I was gonna say that, girl. But I was like, he hot right now. He ain't gonna hear it.
Let's move on, because I do want to get to the other side of this coin. And we are gonna go a little bit later today because YouTube didn't want to let us be great, so we're gonna give you some extra time tonight. I want to go to the other side of this coin real quick before we wrap up. Saw on Twitter from an artist who shall not be named. They, I guess, were upset that people were criticizing the way that they sing. Now, this artist is an amazing vocalist. And when I say they sing every note in the entire alphabet, they sing all the notes. The problem is, to their fans, is that they sing all the notes. Now, we just got finished watching Jazmine Sullivan earlier today, and she also sings all the notes. But for some reason, that's palpable. That we want to hear.
It is.
With this particular artist, not only were they offended, but they basically said, fuck y'all, I'm going to still keep doing it. Now, there is a line for me where, okay, you have the training, you have the skill, you have what comes with it. But you also want people to listen to you. You want to have a fan base. You want to be likable. You want people to buy your product. So maybe you don't have to sing all the notes. And maybe you don't curse out the people that you want to buy your project. One thing that we've talked about was singing along with records.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this for your project. Like, do we need to go in vocally on every single song? Or
we both had this discussion. Like, I've talked to you about it too on yours, because there's been moments where you be like, no, I'm gonna
sing all the notes. But I've toned it down, when necessary, and I've brought it back up when necessary. And I think, the normal consumer who is not concerned about skill or concerned about someone's training, or it's not in the forefront of their mind about that, they just want to enjoy good music. They just want to enjoy good music. And 9 times out of 10, they want to be able to sing along with it, whether it's at the gym or whether it's in the car or at a party. They want to be able to sing along with their favorite songs.
And this is simply why the simple music always wins, because not everybody on the planet is a singer.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you can sing along with something, there you go.
And you'll gravitate towards that, and you'll support that type of music.
Mm-hmm.
There is music for singers.
Right.
But there also needs to be music for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other side of this whole Lil Nas thing for me, which is, that's why I applaud him, because if that is really his artistry, then there you go. It's amazing. Because like I said, in the second verse, he was hitting them harmonies. Even in the first verse, like, the melody was there. I've never heard him do anything like that before.
Yeah. So
there's, I guess, growth. You look at somebody like Drake. Drake loves trying to be a singer. And on certain songs, I was like, oh, he did that on Bend.
Yeah. right. Although sometimes you don't know if it's like Melodyne or if it's the auto-tune bending it. But even he will have his moments.
We give him points for trying.
He will have his moments. But you know what? It all depends on your audience, and it all depends on what you are giving out. I thought it was a little arrogant by the post itself, because if your fan base or your audience is saying, we want you to do less because we want to actually hear the beauty of your voice, then that's different. I don't know how people came at this particular person, but like, um, you know what I mean? If your fans want this, if your fans are saying this, like, and they're loving you through all the extra that you're doing, and they're saying, we just want to hear you hold the note. Just
don't take it nowhere.
Hold
Just
the
hold
note.
it.
And you just saying, nah, son, I'm good. I'm gonna run it down and flip it up and twist it and cartwheel it down the street. That's
Because I'm not buying a whole album of that.
I'm not either.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not either. But even Jasmine, this is why I think why Jasmine is palatable, because she has never done it the way she has, like she's doing now.
It's been gradual.
Yeah, the industry has told her to lessen her vocal because we know that she can do so much. And then when she goes live, she usually gives us little more or way more than what was recorded, and that was where she had her freedom.
Yeah.
She's finally recorded that freedom and put it on record. So now we hear all of the soul, and
I've been
gives.
waiting for it.
And I know you
I've
have.
been waiting
I know
for
you
that
have.
from her.
And it's given me much Aretha Franklin vibes, and I think that's why we can take it from her. But then also, it's something to mention about her, the raspiness of her tone,
Okay, I was gonna say something about that.
because I think that's super inviting for some reason.
So somebody, I forget who said it, but somebody made either a tweet or they said it on an interview, whatever, and they were just like, women will always sing better than men.
Yeah.
And at first I took offense to that because I'm like, I sing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the notes. But then I thought about it and I'm like, there's only a handful of men that have been able to sing my drawers off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there's been a lot of women that can make you just feel instantly. And they don't even have to do all the riffing and running.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's
the emotion.
It's the emotion. It's the femininity. It's the cleanliness. It's the raspiness.
Yep.
It's something about a woman's experience that makes what she does with art so much more attractive.
That's why I will always love fucking Toni Braxton.
Yeah.
Like, that woman, if she walked into this room right now and she was like, Unbreak, I'd be like, see, you know what?
And I mean, and it doesn't, it's not a knock to other men, because there are some amazing male singers. Like, nobody's touching Luther Vandross. Nobody's touching Donny Hathaway.
But those are those tones that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, Luther Vandross had a tone like that was velvet, and you wanted to hear more of it. He didn't have to do so much. It was, and you could tell he was genuinely connected to all of that music that he was singing about.
And you know what? With this particular artist that we're talking about, I've never just heard them for their tone.
No. And this is where your skill can cloud your judgment about your presentation.
Yeah.
Because now it's this whole thing of, I'm going to show you all of what I can do because, damn it, I'm a singer.
Because at that point, you're not an artist to me.
You're a singer. You just singing.
You're just singing.
Yeah.
I think we have a title for this episode.
You just singing. Let me write that down before I forget.
Is it you just singing?
You just singing.
You just singing. So
yeah. So that's.
I think on that note, we should wrap it up. Do we need to address anything else? I think we hit everything.
Because we don't need to.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yep.
You guys, it's been a long day, so let's wrap it up.
You want to keep warm when you're feeling chilled, but you don't want to raise your heating bill. Now, there's the Snuggie, the blanket that has sleeves.
So you guys, thank you for joining us. I know we had a little kerfuffle with YouTube and the whole copyright thing.
Yeah, it's
now
all good.
we know, the more you know, the better you are.
Okay.
So we won't be doing that again.
Never again. Never ever.
But I think that, we got our point across.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who came in the room tonight.
Thank you so much.
Everybody who was in the first path.
Right. Hopefully it's still all the same folks.
Yeah, so we're
If
gonna see
not,
if
it's
we
all
have to like
good.
edit both videos together and into one copyright free
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
for you guys. If you
Yeah.
want to watch the replay.
Right.
But we'll have portions of it up on Instagram.
It'll be up tomorrow.
Please make sure that you guys subscribe to our channel, like the video,
Yeah.
and also hit the bell to be notified of when we're going live, and also
And
when
share
new
it if you
content
feel
is
like
up.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
tell a
share it.
friend. Like we want this to be the new hangout spot because it's
Word.
a much better platform. It's cleaner,
Word.
it's brighter, it's faster. Like this is where we're gonna be at from here on out.
Word.
So,
Word.
and we have a lot of great stuff coming up for you guys this season. So just stay tuned.
Yes.
And
Stay close to the Instagram page too, because you're going to start seeing a lot of notifications there
yes,
about what's to come for this season. This season is
Yes.
going to be really, really dope.
like it's gonna be really dope.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, is that it? If all hearts and minds is clear,
Yeah. I think
we
we're
good to
good.
go?
I think
All
we're
right.
good.
Well, you guys,
Once
thank you
again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We will see you guys next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Right
here on YouTube.
Not Instagram.
Not Instagram, baby.
So we're
I
not
will-
going live on Instagram next week.
No, I will one more time.
One more
That'll be the
time.
last time.
All right. Well, if you go over there and you see that we live, don't even go in the room. Just
Right,
go over there.
right. Because you already know what I'm telling y'all.
Yes.
I'm telling y'all to come over here.
And like we said, tell a friend. We out here. We on these YouTube streets.
Word.
So we will see y'all next week.
We're gonna be in these streets.
Tuesday.
We're gonna be
Uh-uh,
in these streets.
You know what? Supposed to know that yet. We don't want nobody stealing nothing. Lil Nas X. All right. So good night.
Love y'all.
Good night.
That was